Let's do a fun little segment right here. It's called Fats Posting Their L's Online. I know that there's a Twitter account for all that stuff, okay? And basically there's a in-searcher group posting their L's online. But I want to do a video of it because there's a bunch of fat people out here just trying to think that they own the world. And if there's any hairy, or rather hairless, woolly mammoths taking exception with any of this stuff, well, just feel free to smash your pudgy little hand into your fucking keyboard and maybe we'll decipher whatever comment you're trying to spurg out. That is, of course, if you don't drool over whatever you're eating and short circuit your keyboard. I would throw in a stipulation for typing out a comment on a cell phone, but I know that that's all tied up with ordering Uber Eats, so I won't even bother. Plus-sized model. Stopped for boarding a flight. We're talking about fat people on planes this time? Yeah, but this one's actually legit. For being too big for her seat. And shout out to this flight attendant who was like, oh, big bitch, you need a couple of seats, otherwise get the fuck out of here. But anyways, yeah, she was stopped, okay? So Fatty over here was being extremely rude and aggressive to check-in staff. Listen, it's a glandular problem. For forcing security to intervene when PAL failed to introduce paperwork to enter Brazil. It's like, listen, normally livestock has to be kept in cages under the plane. Oh, it's like, oh no, you're a human being. A furious plus-size model. Oh, Jesus. Normally, if anything's, that upset, you just want to poke them with a stick until they, calm down. Who said she was stopped from boarding a Qatari Airlines. Oh, shit, that is fucking extra haram if you're doing that. It's like normally they won't even let pigs onto their planes. I can't imagine why you were stopped. But she was not only... stopped because she was too large, was extremely rude and aggressive to check-in staff at the airline, as was told to Daily Mail Online. Social media influencer, Juliana Namey. I haven't showed her yet for a very obvious reason, because we're gonna theorize as to why maybe she was pulled over, okay? It's like she's a raging bitch. Well, it's a day that ends in Y, okay? An entitled woman trying to fly on an airplane. It's as fucking obvious as the day is long. Saying that she was stopped from boarding a flight to her native Brazil because she was too fat for her seat. Would you like to buy another? According to, but the airline told Mail Online on Thursday that a member of Nimi's family, whom she was traveling with, failed to procure a required PCR test documentation to board the flight to Doha en route to her homeland. So a fatty's trying to piggyback, see what I did there, off of this whole, fat shaming movement. Very interesting. But you think our girls here might be just a little, that's an actual, like a large piece of luggage that you'd normally have to check. Is she just using that for sizing purposes? Okay, just for scale. Something she hasn't been able to appropriately use. Oh, outside of the ones outside of truck stops in a generation. I'm sure she's a wonderful lady, but there's also reports that she's not, so I don't feel bad about this at all whatsoever. It's unacceptable to be fat in 2022 and going forward, okay? You are responsible for every single morsel of food that enters your fat fucking face. And given the fact that you have your own gravitational pull, like you don't even really need wheels on that piece of luggage. Like it would just naturally circle you to begin with. And it's so nice that you could find an appropriately sized fishing net. And I think that the way that these pictures were taken, it's like obviously the one on the left was taken first because she's not wearing shoes in the second one. They just were absorbed by her feet because you could see them barely holding on for life right there, because those used to be stilettos, by the way. But enough, we got another story and I need to save some of the fat jokes. The airline said the passenger in question at Beirut airport was initially treated and tagged like cow when she's like, that's not appropriate. And it's like, oh fuck, you speak English. Yes, she was initially extremely rude and aggressive to check-in staff when one of her traveling party did not produce required PCR documentation for entry to Brazil. And they're like, well, how am I going to get... No, we're not going to Brazil. We're going to Texas de Brazil Steakhouse. God. An airline her spokesman say, yeah, it's Qatari Airlines, so they're based as fuck. Of course they have spokesmen. As a result, airport security was requested to intervene, and they brought out the cattle prods because, obviously, as staff and passengers were extremely concerned with her behavior. I've heard about this before. All you need to do is just run downhill because their mass in proportion to their legs, they're just little legs. They'll eventually trip and roll down the hill. So all you need to do is just run down the hill on an angle. Gravity will take care of itself. In a post to her 118,000 Instagram followers, would they be orbiters? Juliana said she was not allowed to board her flight from Beirut to Doha. Of course she lives in Doha. On November 22nd because of her size. Yes, this bitch is a liar. She was trying to cause some shit for Qatar Airlines, consistently rated as one of the best flight experiences in the entire world. But if anybody that could connect the dots on this one, it's like, okay, bitch, you flew out to begin with. It's like, okay, you didn't become this fucking landmass overnight, okay? So clearly you were flying beforehand. Something's off this time around. That's just what I would think. Okay, she claimed that she was told she would have to purchase a much more expensive first-class seat in order to board the flight. And I was like, listen, you can go ahead and sit in your seat. You could, because we have additional storage for our carry-on bag, so you can put your tits in the overhead rack, and then you can stick your ample ass under the seat as well, and we should be able to lift off from there. Outlining its policies, Qatar Airways said any passenger who impedes upon the space of fellow travelers and cannot secure their seatbelt or lower their armrest, may be required to purchase an additional seat, both as a safety precaution and for the comfort and safety of all passengers. And that's why you get what you pay for. You go to a luxury airline, well, you're going to get luxury treatment. You don't have to post a bunch of fucking pictures on Twitter in order to get an op-ed in Newsweek or fucking milk the simps on Twitter. Who could I possibly be referencing in that one? Some entitled cunt from Australia, perhaps. Naomi had been on holiday in Lebanon, oh my god, with her family, and arrived in the country via Air France, of course, without a hitch. Well, how did they tow her there? She told her thousands of followers. But being denied boarding on a first return flight meant she also had to miss her onward connection to Sao Paulo, where she lives. Juliana said Qatar Airlines did not offer her a refund of $830. She's like, well, I need to eat, so I need to get that refund. She had paid for her ticket. Instead, the influencer claimed, I bet you all of this is fucking nonsense. The airline said that she needed to buy a first-class ticket, which has larger seats. They would never say that. If there was room on the plane, they would say you can buy 2 seats. It just would have been a real dick move if they were in different rows. Funny though. But what did tons of fun go onto social media to say? They're denying me my right to travel. I'm desperate. Help me. They don't want me to board because I'm fat. No, but you lied. But women will always lie on the internet in order to generate fucking views and attention, for Christ's sakes. Like even this fucking heffalump. It's like, yo, if your knee looks like a titty, you need to be able to plan your flights accordingly. And why even bother with makeup at this point in time? I'm just wondering. But moving right along. We're actually going down a size. But it's still kind of gross. And some of these pictures that they have on here are omega haram. Okay, I cannot post any of these. Mostly because I think that they would probably violate and they would definitely get snatched up by the nudity filter on YouTube. So we'll just, if you don't see all of the pictures in the article and for whatever reason you'd like to, you sick fucking freak, link in the description to this article. Trolls say I'll have a heart attack. Bruh, they're true. But my 55-inch butt makes big bucks. Fucking oof. Okay, so if you don't know, I used to be just about 500 pounds, okay? I was definitely tipping the scales over 450. There were no conventional, like, you know, balance scales or... I should know this. I'm a fucking personal trainer after all. But the T-bar doctor scales that are on there, technical terms and all that shit, okay? There were none that could appropriately fit me at my size at 16, okay? I was busting out of a XXX t-shirt. Now, medium t-shirts, okay? I'm a shade over 200 pounds, single-digit percentage body fat. I don't need to, you know, boast or bust or anything like that, okay? I made a decision when I broke down at the age of 16, not being able to fit into a triple XL t-shirt, okay? And my pant size at the time, at the size that I was, and I've showed pictures before, especially big shout out to my secondary channel, the first video that I ever posted on there. I put myself out there on fucking Front Street. You can see the fat fuck that was Donald at one point in time out there for the world to see with the big old fucking floppy fro at top of my head. I was a disaster back in the cut. A little bit better now. Personal preference after all. But that's why I have such a detestation for fat people and their justification for all this shit, because you are responsible, outside of and barring of course a couple of fucking tertiary things like a glandular, yeah sure, for like a small fraction of one single percentile of fat people that are out there, more often than not you're just going fist over fist when it comes to food going into your face, okay? You don't do anything. You don't exercise appropriately. And especially for fat women that are out there, let me just make this perfectly fucking clear. There's no body positivity movement for men out there. If a man is a loser, society and life reinforces that consistently. But when you're a woman, you will always have simps in your DMs, anybody willing to give you attention, to tell you that you are perfect exactly the way you are. You go, girl, love your curves, perfect the way you are. Oh, that's all right. Everybody treats themselves every once in a while, and by once in a while, whenever you wake up and roll out of bed. But to just bring it back to me for a second, the largest my pant size ever got in inches, it was, 44 or 48. Like, it was tough to find pants, and especially given the fact that I got like a 36-inch inseam as well. Like, that was a lot of denim, okay? I don't even know what you do with 55 inches of ass. Like, that's a lot of ass. And I know, like, some of you crazy bastards is like, she got ass though. And it's like, that's a fucking retarded mentality. But yeah, like I said, like, I can continue to scream from the rooftops that being fat is unacceptable. But simps are still gonna simp, man. So it's just my personal preference. You would never catch me with anybody that size. Again, I'm just joking. I'll tell you what, I'll put myself out there on Front Street. I've been with some sturdy girls. That's one way to put it, but none that have that stupid titty tattoo. I fucking hate that shit. I seen somebody repost the meme, and that was hilarious. It's basically, I'll cut the meme short. It's basically the tramp stamp for the 2020s, okay? The old titty chandelier, the one that goes in between the two. That's what this farm animal has. But, oh yeah, back to my story. Right, the way that my home is set up is there's a few different flights of stairs, okay? You come in through the front door to the landing, the foyer area, and you have your opportunity to go upstairs or downstairs. I live right up at the top. That's where the nice suite is and all that stuff, and everybody can come up here and enjoy themselves, of course. But the first set of steps, it's, like a dozen steps or something like that. Like, it's not all that bad. You go up to the first one, you got your living room, you got your kitchen, all that jazz that's on there on the first level. And then in order to get up to the bathroom and the bedroom, well, there's another set of steps up there. I am not with a girl, and this is just a little bit of a test I put them through. If they're huffing and puffing at the end of it, okay, if I look, then there's a possibility that they might be out of breath by the time that they get up to the stairs. I'm good, okay? Thankfully, all of them have passed that test. A couple of them has been a little bit close, but for the most part, it's never been in doubt. For the most part. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about fat people posting their L's online. A plus-size model, that's one way to put it, is ranking in an ample cash, very ample, from her curves. No, it's because it's that bitch that everybody could fucking get, okay? That's why. That's why OnlyFans is popular, right? Because there is free porn fucking everywhere, right? YouPorn, RedTube, what's that? Pornhub? How did I not know that one? X-Hamster, wherever the fuck you want to go. But why do people simp on OnlyFans? Because they want that attention. They take a look at a girl that looks like that, and it's like, ooh, I could get that. And then they trick off. But here's the thing. They're never going to touch your penis. It's never going to happen for you. Continue to simp. Continue to like posts. Follow them on Instagram. Leave comments in the comment section. Oh, you look so pretty. You're so gorgeous. Beautiful. Always like all of her posts, and eventually one day maybe she'll pay you some attention. It's never gonna happen. You've already entered the fucking customer frame. It's over for you, bro. But hey, continue to do it to your heart's content. Continue that cycle over and over again, and maybe one day she'll throw you a crumb. Actually, no, I bet you she doesn't leave any crumbs. Everything is properly taken care of pussy. I'm sure one day you'll just luck your way into some box. Nope. Steph Oshiri. I'm sure that's what the sushi place says whenever she shows up. Oh, Shiri, hopefully you have enough stuff. 28, claiming she is making $45,000 a month modeling. Whew, her natural shape on OnlyFans. There's nothing natural about that. That is a lot of fucking preservatives and bagged and boxed fucking food items. Shape on OnlyFans after quitting her job as a makeup artist. Yeah, her makeup doesn't look too bad, but again, there's only so much oof that can be covered up by fucking lip gloss. It's always fucking Canadians. We just export fucking garbage in today's day and age now. It's unbelievable. She says she weighs 220 pounds. No, she does. She weighs way more than... She got a 55-inch ass. That bitch is elite. She is closer to 250 than 220. You fucking stop that. And boasts 36, a triple a D titty, 55-inch ass, 35-inch waist. No, that bitch is closer to 3 bills. You just fucking stop it. Nobody's buying 220. I'm 220. And I understand that muscle weighs a lot different than fat, but... medium t-shirt, okay, I got fucking, arms. She has arms too, but they look just a touch different, but we'll get to some acceptable pictures here in a moment. Also, and then just for, your decency as well, we'll keep them. I'll selectively curate everybody's experience. She joined the site in 2020, of course she did, and repeatedly reeled in $2,000 to $3,000 a month, all without showing her face. Yeah, and now she looks attainable, and everybody's like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, oh no. But yeah, motherfuckers were still yakking off at the tune of $2,000 to $3,000 a month, like, fuck off. When she finally revealed her identity, she saw her income skyrocket thanks to her voluptuous frame. If that was actually the instigating point, it would have been fine beforehand, okay? Because her face isn't that bad. Like, she's attractive, and if she would lose about 100 pounds, that would be a bad bitch right there. But anyways, I've always had a knack for social media and building an online following. Of course, I don't have to do that much. I can just show my tits and easy money rolls. And that's what women mean by that. I can get a lot of attention by not doing very much. And I think that those days will never end. Paired with my sexual curiosity. That is, whenever you hear that and you don't know who the person is, 9 times out of 10, if it's a woman saying, I like boys and girls too, and she's very vulgar, let's just say that as well. I have a dark sense of humor. I've got a dirty mouth. She's fat, and she knows in order to play the game appropriately, she has to throw in a bunch of additional things. It's like, oh my god, you're a freak too. Yeah, I can definitely overlook that 100 pounds. But yes, paired with my sexual curiosity, confidence. That's why you hid your face for 2 years? Okay. And assets. Yeah. And again, that's always a woman. Oh, take a look at all of the things. I'm just such a great person on the front end, but then not really leading with what brought everybody to it. Because again, men are attracted to what they're attracted to. And they wouldn't talk to a girl if she didn't meet their criteria of attraction. Okay. Like, men, for the most part, like outside of family members, of course, like, your mother, your sister, your auntie, your niece, all that shit. Okay, that's outside of this conversation. Men deal with women for one fucking reason. Box. Simple. That's it. If you didn't have any of this, you would be irrelevant to most of the men that are out there. Just saying. But yeah, no, she started an OnlyFans because of her great personality and fat tits. Great. I knew that I'd be able to earn big. Sure, of course. I knew once I did, went faceless, my income would double or triple. All right, my body stands out. Yeah, it's everywhere. It just naturally stands out. It's called gravity. Obviously, the majority of my audience is subscribers to me for my wide hips and bum. If that's the content that you put out there, then yeah, I definitely don't think I would be as successful if my bum was smaller. No, like I said up front, it's like, you're not an ugly girl. You're fat, you're just not ugly. So if you would lose some weight, and you could like completely change your grift right there. You could just go on this weight loss journey because you're tired of just being a novelty fuck. Probably something that she's gonna do because she's at that ripe old age of 28. And I hope she lives a long and wonderful life. But being a fat novelty girl on the internet, sure, you're making a lot of money right now. But at the end of the day, we know what the indicator and the predicator for a female happiness later in life is. And yeah, showing your box on the internet doesn't really fulfill that. But okay, I have my 55-inch booty to thank for $45,000 a month paycheck. Sure. There's some quotes that are in here that I can't show. You got to take my word for it, obviously. Well, you can go take a look if you want to, but they're sandwiched, very appropriately, between two incredibly haram pictures that I can't get away from because, one, you see a very obvious gunt, and I can't negotiate that one that's on there. And another one, her... Oof, I don't know if they're legs or if they're cottage cheese drumsticks. I can't quite figure that out, okay? But she's inside of a hot tub, which it was weird. It kind of started out with a single glass of water, but now it's overflowing. But yeah, no, she's posing on top of both of them with very stiff nipples. I can't show either of those. I don't want to either because I like and respect my audience, unlike her. But one of the quotes that was on there was like, finally you get to see a body positive creator in this space. It's like there's basic bitches all over the fucking platform, I'm sure of it, that are also pitching the exact same shit that you're doing. Hopefully you're investing that money wisely, but we all know you aren't. But one bully told her she was seconds away from a heart attack. Oh, she calls anybody who anyone who critiques her master haters. Get it? Because it sounds like masturbate. It's kind of clever, I'm not gonna lie. Another said, doctors must just love me because I keep them in business. Oh, okay. I had people comment 20 times on a single video making fun of me and calling me every name you could imagine. She shared on the fans. Like, come on, you gotta pay in order to comment on that shit, right? So I don't know about that. Maybe you're on Instagram or several Instagrams. But yeah, like I said, you can see the face right there. Like, she's not ugly, okay? And if she was, I don't know how tall she is. Like, maybe this is a big bitch at the end of the day. Like, if she would lose 75 or 100 pounds, she'd be killing it. But now with this size, she's just killing herself. It's not a normal thing to receive this type of hate, especially not in the capacity I deal with it. Oh, of course. But again, I wouldn't be this popular without my fat ass, though. I continue to post it online, and I just get so much hate. You could stop looking at comments? How about that? Plus size models may face a dangerous curves ahead if should they decide to give OnlyFans a go. I think most would struggle with it, she said. I was going to bring up the Instagram, do that old gag, but yeah, man, there's too much cellulite on there. And again, I respect my fans, that's gross. Anybody who's watching this, okay? I hate that term. Just whole OnlyFans thing I seen on there. Didn't mean to, say that, of course. Not better than anybody else, and she's definitely not better than anybody else. There's just too much exposed ass cheek, and that would definitely get flagged. So, but yeah, she's on TikTok, because of course she is, and yeah, not OnlyFans, sorry, the Instagram is popping with like 74,000 followers and some shit like that, and she posts basically the pictures that are on here as well, and it's like, okay, there's a girdle working overtime. I think we can probably get by there. It's too small, get a bigger size, lol, have it tailored. But yeah, no, it's so unique what she does. Oshiri isn't the only plus size model bringing in big bucks from social media. One woman who has been bullied for her belly now makes $12,000 a month by eating for her admirers on OnlyFans. Yeah, admirers is one way to put it. But this shit wouldn't exist if it wasn't for simping, and because there's nothing that you can possibly do about male nature and wanting to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and lonely dudes being ostracized from society, thinking that either they can escape their shitty existence, their shitty marriage, or their overbearing girlfriend. They can just go check in with somebody who's living a mundane life and listen to their nonsense, because that's a lot of shit that goes on OnlyFans. Somebody just wants a fucking ear to listen to their problems for the day. So this $45,000 a month isn't going to be lasting forever. Hopefully you're making appropriate moves so you don't end up bitching and whining, moaning, and complaining about inadequate seating on a plane later in life. Wish you guys nothing but the best, but that would also involve like a treadmill, and you'd probably have to start off on a recumbent bike, and then you could go to the elliptical trainer, and then the treadmill, throwing some weights and all that stuff as well. Something that you clearly already have. Body weight exercises, because, well, actually no heavy lifting to begin with, but even still, and given the fact that you go on TikTok by Steph Baby 333, you know how I said at the beginning 220, I don't think that. I think you're self-snitching right there, and maybe you're a little bit closer to your real weight on there. So reconcile with reality and understand that 28 being kind of a fetish size is a lot more attractive and a lot more appealing than 48, trying to make it still work. So, start making moves that are appropriate. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Thank you all very, very much. And I accidentally pressed back on my mouse, so that's why everything looked a little goofy there for a second. See ya. And there's an ass for you. Sorry about it. Not just the one in the corner. God damn it.